What's up?
How you doing, everybody?
Welcome to the first ever Demon King photography live stream. This is Adam Knowles, and my name is Joel Imber, and we've been working together through creative mentoring, and we are very excited because we've got Cybernight, which is this live stream event happening right now, and it's all about technology. What have we been doing out in the community around technology, Adam?
Well, we've been learning about all of the different technology.
Yeah, different types of technology. What's some examples?
Examples are learning about drones.
Drones?
Yeah.
Virtual reality. Very cool. 3D printing.
Oh, definitely.
All these cool things. It's sort of been like a bit of an adventure, a bit of a quest. That's kind of like how we work in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really been a great time doing this with you, learning together, and we've sort of put together a whole range of videos.
Yes, we did.
Whether it's interviews, whether it's some cool creative things you've done yourself, and we thought, how are we going to show the people? Through a live stream. And that's us. What we're doing right now, we've got a collection of videos, and yeah, we may as well get started. What do you reckon, Adam? You feeling pumped?
Yes, I am.
Your first live stream?
Yes.
And the first one is all about drones.
Drones.
And we have, what's the go with drones?
Drones. Well, drones are for a lot of things. You can fly around if you want.
Yep, that's it. Mechanical flying devices.
Oh, definitely. The remarkable thing about them is the propellers. Yeah. They're really fast. I think
for sure.
I think the drones will be actually good for the future.
Yeah, definitely. We learned a lot of that, a lot about drones and how they're used out in the community. But we may as well stop talking and let the viewers see our first drone video. So check it out, drone technology with the awesome Craig.
This is amazing. Wow. Wow. What's words? Hey everyone from DKP, I'm talking to Craig from Council. So how many drones have you piloted so far?
4. I started off with the little one, the little Mavic, and I've piloted a Phantom and a Tello, and the big one you see behind you, the Matrice 300.
So for beginners, what should they do if they time to begin the pilot drones?
YouTube, massive amount of videos on there, and practice in a really safe place like an oval. When school's not in, that's what I did for months.
What are drones were they used for?
Drones are also remote piloted aircraft, RPAs. Just that. They are flying machines designed to carry a bunch of sensors, cameras, lights, LiDAR, you name it. They do many things, from photography, video, photogrammetry, mapping, working on farms, agricultural, underground mines, inspections, all kinds of stuff. It pretty much, if you can fly it and you can hang something off the bottom to get what you need, then you can do it. Man. Yeah.
That's wicked. Oh, that is full on
There you go, there, Predator.
Oh man, that is wicked, man. That is full on Predator, dude.
It's me.
Yeah, it is, man. Wow. That's wicked, dude. Well done, mate.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so the drone takes a whole bunch of photos, like thousands of photos, over an automated mission, going back and forwards. And then you take those photos, you put it into this software that we're trialling at the moment from Bentley called Context Capture. As you can see, some holes and stuff like that, so we're learning. And out it comes as a full derived 3D mesh based off 2D photos.
Thank you so much for showing us around, mate.
Yeah, man. No problems.
That's awesome.
No worries. Glad you liked it. Anytime.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many drones, big ones and small ones. They're pretty much amazing. And pretty much they have like an amazing propellers. They're really, like, wind turnboat is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's form predator.
And that's why shades are cool. The green's the coolest. See?
Adam,
Yeah?
you are like legitimately Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. Say, get to the chopper.
Get into the chopper!
There you go. Drones. Very, very cool. The
Definitely.
future is now.
Oh, yes it is.
No worries. Speaking of the future, we went on a bit of a mission to look into virtual reality.
Yes, we did.
And what have we learnt about virtual reality there, Adam?
Well, glad you ask. Well, virtual reality is a world of virtual games.
Yep.
You have the Oculus 1 or 2 or 3.
Yep.
Or the classic VR headsets.
That's it.
Yes.
You've got one for your PlayStation, for your games.
Yes, I do.
And for those who haven't used virtual reality, basically chucking on the headset and we're looking through, kind of like being right up close to a television screen and your eyes. It's kind of a bit hard to explain. You kind of really need to have a bit of a go. But you've created a really cool video demonstrating how to use the VR headset. But before that happened, we actually needed to find out a bit of information about virtual reality.
Oh, yes, we did.
And we Googled it up and we went, virtual reality, Tasmania. And the first search that we found was a guy named James. James was very cool.
We interviewed James about virtual reality. It was a magical thing to learn about it.
This guy is a VR master.
Oh, definitely.
He goes around and he's been teaching VR and doing all kinds of projects in the virtual reality world. And we had a bit of a chat there and it was so inspiring that I went out and bought a virtual reality headset and I gave it to Adam. I'm like, dude, you got to try this. So what do you reckon? Throw on the video?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
What's up, everyone? It's a boy from TKP. I'm using the Oculus. Pretty cool, isn't it? You know what the cool thing is? You can literally do everything you want. Go up, around, and down. Most of these, like, you learn how to do pretty rhyme for the very first time. The funny thing is, this is actually my first time using it, but this is actually pretty cool. Yeah. The good thing about it, you can just put things around your body. It's pretty cool. And you just can move around and all that. And the feature of gaming is like very spot on. Like VR headsets and gaming and all that kind of stuff. And the thing I love most about VR headsets and the Oculus is you can literally, it's like you're stepping into another world or another virtual reality. Okay, I think I used too much spray paint.
Just have a muck around with it and explain what you're doing.
So mostly you can just spray paint.
This game's called King Spray.
King spray, boys, king spray. Look at that. I'm literally spraying a dog. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's pretty cool. So like, point and up and down, pretty much. This is king spray, and also, cool thing with king spray, you can just spray paint and all that. This is your hands. If you've got eyes, you can test good spray paint, king spray. But this is pretty cool. King spray is a pretty good game. But if you just want to spray paint a door, then yeah, it's all good. Once again, now you go blue door. Hey, look at that. Okay, spray.
Quick, Adam, the cop's coming.
Speed saver, boy. This is awesome. Wow. Look, Star wasn't. And most is like Guitar Hero and Star Wars rolled into one. It's like you're playing the Sith one and the Jedi. It's pretty cool. Wow. Here comes the blocks. Left, right. That was Beat Saber.
How you feeling?
That was so cool. So, toothbrush, clean spray, Beat Saber. This is an absolutely remarkable thing. I'm going to say the Oculus is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Bye.
Oh yeah, virtual reality. It is like the coolest thing.
Oh yes, it is.
So cool. Like, you know, Adam, I like your new style. You should look like this more often, man. Walk around. What do you think? What can you see?
Well, it's a whole different world when you're doing virtual realities. I think virtual reality will probably replace regular gaming, and I think it might be the best platform for gaming in the near future. Well, it's getting close to the future anyways, but I forget what I said.
Exactly. It's all about the future, VR.
And the future is now.
Is now. Speaking of, come back to reality, Adam. All right, so VR is pretty darn cool. I'm going to say that. But look, you know, you want to check out a few games. It's going to be very, very cool. You got the Oculus Quest. You've also got a few other devices. Adam, moving on from VR, we actually had a bit of a chat to a local artist. Her name was Malachi. Yeah, Malachi was very nice to give us some time, have a bit of a chat, talk about her digital art.
She did.
And what do you reckon? Was it a good time meeting a digital artist?
Oh yeah. Oh, also, she also did an artwork for my T-shirt.
She did. She did do an awesome artwork for your Demon King T-shirt. We'll make sure that we put a picture up on your Facebook group if you haven't already. Give the page a like, and it's probably a good chance to. What do you want to say about your YouTube channel, man? Be able to subscribe. Actually.
If you like the video, or put the link for the thumbs up, the bell icon. And make sure you if you like the video, like and subscribe. Yeah,
you know what it is. Give a sub now already if you haven't. But back to Malachi, not just a digital artist, but also more of a traditional artist and many different styles.
Oh,
I guess you'll learn more about it in the video, as well as her love for music. So roll that video. All right. Hello. So we're here in a beautiful park in North Hobart. My name's Joel. The police just drove by. Luckily, I'm not in trouble, so we're all good. Yeah, my name's Joel, and this is Adam Knowles next to me. How you doing, Adam?
Doing good.
And we also have the wonderful Malachi. Hello, Malachi.
Hello.
Well, it's a beautiful day in Hobart Town, and I'm here doing a bit of work with Adam Knowles. He's doing some amazing technology, future focus work in the creative realm. Lots of cool stuff happening.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be a good opportunity to have a chat with local artist Malachi. And Adam, to get things kicking off, what's your first question that you're going to ask Malachi?
What was the very first art you done?
Ooh, that's actually a really interesting question. I don't think I've ever had that one before. It would have been when I was like 4 or 5, so it would be a finger painting or a very rudimentary crayon drawing. You know, the makings of greatness.
Ah, yes. Yes, excellent.
And if I might add too, what, in relation to that question, what was your first piece of art? What was sort of the first piece of artwork that you might have had showcased or exhibited?
Okay, so it was grade 8, and I did this like super realistic life sketch of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was my favorite movie, and I thought Gollum was just so cool. So we had to do like these realistic drawings of celebrities for this art class, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do Gollum, that technically counts. So I entered it into the Hobart show, and I got highly commended or something, and I felt pretty chuffed about that.
What was the hardest part of making art?
The hardest part of making art, I don't find any of the making part hard. When there's inspiration, I just follow it, and that's fun, it's relaxing, it's enjoyable. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it so much. But there is a difficulty that comes with loving something so much and wanting to spend all your time doing it, is that reconciling it with reality, with the industry, with that, making the choice of, do I want to make art my career, or do I want to continue to be a hobby? And both of those have their own difficulties. Being a hobbyist, there's less time. Doing it as a career, there's a lot more pressure, which can sometimes deteriorate passion if one isn't careful. So kind of navigating the balance between not how to do art, but what I want to do with my art. That's the complexity.
What was the first time that you experienced any form of digital art?
So I was still in school at this point, and there was the digital medias class, and I was like, bah, new technology. That has no place in art. I'm a traditionalist. I like my fine art. If it's not with a brush and a canvas, it doesn't count. Mix your own paint, you lazy plebs. So that was my thoughts on that.
Fair enough.
And then I got bored and I started drawing on my phone, and just on like little sketchpad app. Yeah, and I realized how convenient it was to always be able to make art wherever I was, on the bus, if I was in nature, literally everywhere and anywhere. I'm like, you know what, I like this. This is really convenient. And then for whatever reason, I realized that if I wanted to work as a commission artist, the most advantageous way to do that would be with digital work, because it is faster to do. There isn't actually a cost on resources, and I didn't have to physically post it off. So it was, if I wanted to make money off my art, it was the quickest and best way to do it. So I started doing commission work just on my little phone, and then it started to work. So then I bought the iPad and just graduated to Procreate, and then just kept doing it. So it was like it was a convenience thing, no offense to digital art.
I'm sure no offense is taken. Convenience and progression, and realization that, hey, this is actually a workflow that is good. Nice. On the digital topic, Adam, what's another question that you could ask around digital art?
When you're doing digital art, what kind of colors do you use?
I use all the colors.
All of them.
All of them. It is different doing digital as opposed to traditional art, because traditional art, one, is limited by what they can actually acquire or mix themselves, and I like to use predominantly primary colors, which are bold and awesome to just mix on the canvas as I go. But with digital art, I can be a little bit more nuanced and have like a more specific array of colors. So I'll tend to be more delicate with my application with digital. As an artist, I gravitate towards warm tones, a lot of light. I think light can really make or break an art piece. So I'll often highlight the yellows and use them in a way that makes it pop and shine if I can. Yeah. Also, yellow is my favorite color, so there's that.
Very beautiful. Maybe adding on to that very awesome question around colors, in a digital world, what about the different types of brushes that you could use? For instance, for those who don't know, Procreate, being a Tasmanian app for the iPad, using for digital art, you can choose a whole range of, I guess, digital brushes. What's some things that you like to use?
I like to use all of the different brushes. There's this one called Nebula, and it's fantastic for backgrounds because you can just essentially cover an entire canvas in this wonderful galaxy-like just composition of all the colors, and that gets a really kind of quick, beautiful background. I like the luminescence pens. Those do wonderful things to make things glow and really stand out. The Studio pen is one that I use a lot for all-rounder, for fine detail, because you can change the size of it very easily, as well as the opacity. There are so many. I also use the turpentine brush because it operates similar to how like wet paint would work on a canvas, since you can get to move around the colors in a playful way that's experimental and less intentional than typically digital art with. And I think that's a good thing, because so much of the beauty that happens in art is unintentional, and the temptation with digital art is to become too tight and restricted and controlled with the expression. So the brushes, which are a bit more random, I find helpful for that.
What type of technology have you been using for arts?
So I've been using my iPad, and that's Procreate. I had this brief phase where I tried out Blender to do some 3D modeling, and it is complex, but what people can do with that is just phenomenal. And because I've been getting into my music lately, I've been using GarageBand and Ableton, so pretty much your classic standard ones. Just like art, the tool does not make the artist, like ever. So pretty much something I'd actually advise people is that you don't have to have the best equipment, whether that's digital or traditional. You just need to make it work for you. So whatever is available, pretty much, I use whatever's there, and I would advise like people do the same as well.
What would it be like for the future for arts?
So one of the biggest industries of art that I see flourishing is the gaming industry. And I think with advancement in technology, such as things like the Neuralink, we could have a gaming experience that is absolutely indistinguishable from reality on a sensory level. And for art, that poses, I know it sounds scientific, but it is conceivable. For art, that poses an entirely different experience, because it's no longer about visuals or auditory or even video, like the combination. It's about sensation. So the future of art, it's sensory. It's trying to create an experience that is like real life, but highlights the beauty and simplicity. So you could have an art piece that's just a coffee cup and have the sound and the smell and replicated, but highlighted in such a way where we wouldn't notice it in ordinary life, but in this art piece we would. Just like if we have a painting of the sunset, we see the colors that the artist intended us to see, whereas in reality we just see a sky. So the future of art, in my opinion, is surreal. It's abstract. It's all about senses.
Have you ever tried virtual reality?
Amazingly, I haven't tried it, and part of that is because I have this suspicion that I might get hooked. I had this phase of just being absolutely addicted to Skyrim, and if I try Skyrim in VR, it just might be the end of my career. I might never emerge again. I mean, so no.
Do you think that artificial intelligence could play a part in art?
I think it already does.
Probably does, doesn't it?
Yeah. You've got the layer of gatekeeping there. It's not just us who's defining what art is worthy of viewing anymore. It's also the algorithm. So essentially, we are being told what to find beautiful, which is, again, a projection of our own interpretation of beauty because of the filter bubble, right? which is a really interesting concept. Like the nature of beauty itself, like the appreciation of beauty, I'd say it's a fundamentally human aspect, and yet it's now becoming the realm of AI, which is so trippy to think about, because art at its core is beauty. The rest of that, what was the question? I got on a tangent.
Will robots be making art?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but that also depends on how you classify art.
Sure.
If you define art as human expression, no, AI will never be able to make art until it is deemed at the level of human consciousness,
Yeah.
which is up for philosophers to debate.
Good
But
call.
if you just mean robots making art, there's already many examples of them doing that, even if they're not consciously aware of it. Like the robot is a part of the art piece themselves, so you could still say that that's the artist's vision, but considering they're the ones applying the paint to the canvas, does that make them the artist? So that's already kind of like this tenuous topic, and you could even argue that with digital art, well, that's a robot making art. Like, like that question, it's rife with technical definitions.
What do you reckon, Adam? There's lots of digital influence into the art world, whether it's like a video game or an app you might have on your phone making art. Do you think technology plays a part through? Do you think that art making plays a part in that sort of technology?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So many arts, and there's a possibility of technology growing now, and digital art is definitely flourishing.
Yeah, it is. It's like evolution. What about when we went to Mona? What was that thing that we saw that had the robots?
It was a remarkable thing to see an actual machine in Mona, and that the technology has grown financially so well.
Yeah.
Like the wheelchair with the mobile phone,
Ah, yes.
3D
yes.
printing, VR. There's so many things the world has grown.
This is very true. We have definitely been on a big adventure and quest around learning about new technology, and there's a beauty of creativity and evolution and all of that there. But look, one can only wonder at the possibilities, and I guess we'll just have to stay tuned and see what comes in the years to lie ahead of us, hey?
What type of music do you do?
Cinematic epics and chill step and all the epic bass. I'm still very much in the exploratory phase, so I haven't limited myself to a genre. Hopefully I'll create a whole new genre, but what I like is creating visual narratives in my head and then creating auditory narratives that match them, and from that comes like this feeling. Like I like telling stories, and sound's a way to do that through emotions. So they're all very progressive and structured in a way which might be incomprehensible to the outside eye or outside ear in this case. But yeah, electronic, chaotic, a lot of different beats and melodies, a lot of piano in there. Sometimes I do my own vocals because I've been learning to rap, which is super, super fun. Because the technology to make music is infinite, it's also infinite the possibilities. So for the type of music, I really don't know yet. I guess I'll find out.
And would you say that it is a very similar in the instance of, I guess, the creation in music and art in a digital sense can be led by suggestion through, like, I don't know, it's technology? How do you play a part in sort of bringing those two things together?
What I will say is that art has become increasingly a collaborative medium. It used to be that you would have to create every element of a song on your own and perform it one time in one space. Same thing with art, one painting viewed in one place. That's it. A limitation imposed by space and time. But now you can have hundreds and hundreds of samples to choose from, made by people on the other side of the world. Whose art is the finished song? It's a collaboration between both of you. And there are many, many different things like that. Art is just more and more collaborative. And I think that's a really wonderful thing, because fundamentally it's expression of ideas. It's sharing communication. That's what we're trying to do as artists, is express ourselves to others and give them a feeling. So I think that's actually quite wonderful. I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I did want to point that out.
I think that's a beautiful thing to point out. What do you think, Adam?
That was awesome.
Thank you, Malachi. And if you want to check out any of your artistic or musical works, where would you go to?
You'd pretty much just stalk the internet for Malachi Quinn art and you will find it. Facebook, Instagram, my website, TikTok. You'll find me, it's fine.
Out there in the metaverse. All right, signing out. Malachi,
Malachi.
what a weapon.
Definitely.
She's a very talented artist.
Oh, really talented indeed.
And so talented that you're wearing the talented artwork on your merchandise. Like I said
sir.
before, we better drop it on the Facebook page for Demon King Photography.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll drop some socials as well to,
Definitely,
share
yes.
for Malachi.
Yeah. I want to say thank you, I want to say thank you to Malachi for the artwork and all that.
Yeah.
And hope you're doing best.
Nice. Nice one, Adam. Well, up next, something a bit similar.
Oh, yes.
Animation.
Ooh, definitely.
We've done an animation before, haven't we?
Oh, yes. What we did, if you never heard of mashup, we put two things together. It's like a puzzle.
It is a bit like a puzzle, really, isn't it? A mashup, yeah.
Yeah, you can mash up things with anime
Yep,
and music.
yep.
Tons of amazing things. I think that could be like a next wave for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Music,
Oh.
music videos,
Music video.
art videos.
Oh, definitely, yes.
You know, like it's pretty much endless what you can do.
Oh, that is true. There's endless amount of what you can do, but you can do more than that.
Oh, endless and more.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to say is that we got into a little bit of animation and we actually used a music video idea. So taking a music clip that we found on YouTube, had a bit of a roboto electro sound, was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Oh,
and
yes, it was.
we wanted some anime because you love anime. So putting
Oh,
them
yeah,
both
definitely.
together, chopping it up in the video editing program, and we come up with a bit of a masterpiece. What is it about anime that you like, Adam?
Well, it's about the first time I watched anime. There's a lot of streaming apps.
Yep.
Crunchyroll, Funimation, and MyLab. They all have anime, Japanese
Yep.
animes.
Yep.
The reason why I love it is the culture, the
Yep.
animes, and this video here.
Yep.
Well, we've been saying how the love for anime.
Yeah, nice. It is a good, definitely a good homage to your passion for anime. It's using some old anime clips, and yeah, we hope you enjoy it. Let's roll the clip. Oh yeah, that was pretty special.
Definitely. It was a tribute to Japanese anime.
Yeah, definitely had that vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And we did notice there's a couple people there in the chat. Who do we want to say a big special thanks to?
I want to say huge thank you for Mr. Mario.
Mr. Mario 27, our boy.
How you doing?
Yep, yeah, and there's some great crew in there, so thanks for the support. But we keep on going. We've got many more videos to show.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up next, a very talented man, Anthony Barrett. He is an actor, and Anthony is actually a local actor down here, doing lots of really cool things, and we caught up with him, having a bit of a chat. What were we chatting about, Adam?
Ooh.
Doing a bit of acting?
Yeah, so he done a lot of acting and all that. He also had a love for radio.
Yeah, he does like the radio. I think he's a man. He's got the golden voice. So what do you reckon? What should we do?
Cue the video. Oh, yeah.
No wildlife. Hey, shush. I didn't ask for your opinion.
Hey everybody, this is Boy from Demon King. I'm here with Anthony. We're going to talk about his interests. So, Anthony.
Yes.
What's the first day you started acting?
Probably in grade 6, which was 10 years ago now.
Oh yeah?
We did a play called Aladdin,
Oh yeah?
which is from the animation film with Robin Williams.
Oh yeah?
And then it pretty much went from there.
Wow. Tell me a bit more about Aladdin.
So our show was quite different than the movie, of course. We didn't have any actual songs. We only did the like the sound effects and stuff,
Alright.
which is quite different from the film.
That is really true, yes. What do you like most about acting?
Okay, that's a good question. It's pretty fun. I've been doing it since 2019. I did a show called The Wild Wild West in May of 2019. Then just recently last year in October, I did a show called Terra Australis. It was a conflict show. That was nice. We did 3 shows. That was great. And now, I'm still waiting to hear back about the next show.
Oh. What's your favourite movie?
My favourite movie will probably be, at the moment, is The Great Showman with Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah?
As well as Dear Evan Hansen with Ben Platt.
Nice. With you acting, what type of technology do you use?
With acting, oh gosh. That is a good question. So I remember this one time, when we were doing the 2020 division a couple of years back, our lighting designer Chris could not make it one day to one of the shows, and I got there at like 6:30 in the afternoon because our show was at 7:30, and so the director and the sound person, Richard, they asked me if I would like to do some lighting, and yeah, that was very interesting. I was there for 2.5 hours doing some lighting. and I'll probably want to do more of that.
That's good, man. What kind of things do you do for lighting?
So you have to make sure that the lights are on a specific actor that's in the
really
scene.
True. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
And and then when the act finishes, you have to turn down the real knob, turns off the lights, dims the lights.
Yeah, that's understandable. What's the challenges for acting?
Oh gosh, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Probably the main thing is probably some people probably sometimes they forget their lines and they think they'll probably think they mess up the scene and stuff on the stage.
What's your pre-show snack?
Okay, so I'll probably say I normally will have some Roy's and probably a drink of like a Coke or something to keep my energy up for the rest of the 2.5 hours.
That's a good thing, yeah. You also need to keep your energy for acting.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing like for you if you're doing photography or a lot of other things. What's your other interests?
Oh gosh, probably hopefully in a couple of more years, probably in another 3 or 4 years, probably have enough money saved up and probably go to London or New York to see like West End shows and Broadway shows. Nice. See how many shows I can see in every day. See how many shows I can see.
That's good. What makes you feel happy?
Probably I got two. So one is having my friends around me, and the other one is I see my dad on Christmas every year.
Oh yeah.
See my dad on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and then he drops me off at home, and and see all my brothers.
That's good.
And my sisters.
Yeah, definitely found it's definitely important.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things would you see in the future, like for acting and CGIs and all that?
Oh gosh, that's a tricky question. Oh gosh, probably have more stories coming to Australia, like coming to Tasmania and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't have that many in Hobart, really.
Oh, that is true. They don't know. What will you see in the future of movies?
Hire more actors and
true, yes.
more filmmakers and more crew.
Yeah, I do
behind the
agree.
scenes crew.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true because they need more actors, they need more like directors. If they have more CGI, then they'll make it a bit more futuristic and more different. What kind of things do you do for radio shows?
Okay, so I was part of a community radio called 97.7 Tasmania FM, which is located down in Nabina, in the Tasman Peninsula.
Oh, Peninsula, yeah.
All the way down there. And I did a radio show every Monday called the Genie Show, because the genie from Aladdin. Oh, and I actually came up with that name. And I thought about it. They asked me what show I would like to call it. Well, the president of the radio station asked me what name you want to call your show, and I said I had to think about it for about a couple of weeks because I got offered a show on a Monday night. So I had to think of a name after those 2 weeks because I was on. My first show was 2 weeks after that. So,
wow.
And I did that for about, I did that for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So I started in grade 7 as after before home time, and then it kept happening. And then when I finally got to college or something in grade 11, I started on my own show on Monday nights from 6 to 7.
Wow.
On Tasman FM, and I did that for about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of technology do you use for radio shows?
Like for me, for example, I used to have an iPad, which I don't have anymore because it kept breaking down on me every time I played music on it.
That sounds sound. iPads do that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And then so every time it happened, I pretty much had to use. Anyway, I used to take CDs just in case if that happened. I had two CDs to back. I had two CDs to back up the iPad just in case something happens with the iPad, and I can just pop the CD into the CD player in the radio and play it for the rest of the show. And yeah,
That's good. For many years of radio show, what's the one thing you learned?
from doing the radio show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I learned how to like work the desk, the radio desk.
Yeah.
That took a while to get used to.
Oh.
It took me like two weeks to get all my head around it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but once I kept doing it like during the year, and yeah, so it got, I could say it got really easier, I would say.
That's good. Here's South of my doing right here, Anthony. And if you like the show, like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Peace.
All right, so we want to say a big special thanks again to Anthony, absolute legend. And
Thank you, Anthony.
you know, if you want to go find out a bit more about Anthony, I'm pretty sure we've got some social media links that we'll chuck in there for him.
Yeah.
And continuing on with a bit of technology, we did a bit more investigations. We're kind of like technology investigators in a way, aren't we? We've gone on a bit of a quest. We looked into a bit of 3D printing, actually. 3D printers, what's the go there, Adam? What did you learn about 3D printing?
Well, 3D printing. Also, you can build boats, houses. Also, extra limbs
Yep.
for a lot of people who don't have limbs.
That's right.
Let's see, robotics.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
it's a printer, not for paper, but to make things, like physical things. And like you said, yeah, it could be, you know, like robotics.
Robotics.
We actually saw a video of a boat and a house being built with a 3D printer. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we actually found someone who was a bit of a 3D printing expert.
Yes, we did.
His name was Tim. So big shout out to Tim.
Hi,
We
Tim.
did a bit of a Zoom video. We didn't make a video in the end, but it was a really fantastic way to use technology, particularly to talk with him, and not just talk via Zoom. He actually sort of went down into his basement with all his like 8 3D printers and was like, oh, check
it
out
was
this. It was pretty cool,
Oh,
hey?
it was so amazing. He also donated face shields for nurses.
What a legend, totally.
Dude,
During
you're
the
a legend,
pandemic,
bro.
absolute
Definitely
legend.
pandemic. And I think I would recommend learning a bit more about
Yep.
3D printing. And I think 3D printing will be part of the future. If you're
reckon.
someone who doesn't have limbs,
Yep.
I will recommend 3D printing.
Yeah, look, that's right. It's literally saving lives as we've,
You're
as
saving
we've learned.
lives and helping
And so I want to say too, just come over this way, man. We've got a bit more about technology. Moving on from 3D printing, we wanted to do a bit of an upgrade on you, not with you know, robotic hands or anything crazy like that, but your computer.
Yeah.
Let's face it, it needed an upgrade, didn't it?
Yes. The reason is, the reason I had to upgrade, I found out later on, my computer wasn't meant for gaming at all. So thumbs down for that one.
Thumbs down, thumbs down.
So,
Give a thumbs down. No, don't give a thumbs down. Give thumbs up.
oh, thumbs up. Yes.
Yep.
I had to upgrade.
You had to upgrade, yes.
And we were thinking, what's a good place to go to?
It was just around the corner
It
from
was
you.
around the corner.
MSY,
MSY.
one of many computer stores where you can
Yeah.
get computers, but they did a good job, hey?
Thank you for the PC.
Yep, definitely a big shout out. And we got the computer made for you,
Yes, we did.
brand spanking new, very good, very good for gaming.
Definitely.
Yep.
And it's also, I recommend if you have a PC, make sure the graphics card is good as well.
Thumbs up for graphics cards.
Cards.
That's right. But we had to go and chat to our good friend Craig, who's actually behind the scenes here giving us a hand with all the
Hello,
technology
Craig.
stuff. Hello, Craig, you legend. Yeah, so anyway, let's check out the awesome PC gaming video with Craig. Check it.
What's up, everybody? It's the boy from Demon King again. I'm with Craig. How you doing, mate?
How you good, man? Yourself?
This time we're talking about gaming PCs. So tell us about what's the steps for building starting or building gaming PCs.
Well, money. But yeah, for a gaming PC, your primary focus is power. So you need a good GPU and a good CPU and a good amount of RAM, and then you can start from there.
Well, when you're starting with a PC, what type of things do you need to use?
You can use anything. You can start with the most basic gear. Don't let all the flashy, expensive mouse, keyboard, all that kind of stuff determine what you do. I started our PC gaming with, when it was first created, back in the 80s. So we had ball mice and everything like that, So it's just, it's to have fun. So don't focus on all of that so much. Just focus on getting everything built up so you can actually start playing games. So you can start basic and work your way up from there, from like what I've done. It took years to build and then continuously upgrading over time, but only one piece at a time when you can afford it,
What was the gaming like back in the days?
My first gaming computer was hooked up to our TV, which was the old Cafe Ray. It was a big box, no remote. And the games ran off cassette tapes, like the music cassette tapes. Yeah, and you used to have to flip them over to side B and continue going.
It's like the school I went to for primary school. The computer was so old. I was like, oh my god, wow, sheesh. It's a bit like one of them floppy disks.
Kind of, yeah. Games did come on the big floppy disks.
Oh yeah. Because back in the days, they had old school computer gamings back in the days.
One of my favourites was Indiana Jones, and it came on 7 of them.
Oh
So you
yeah.
had to change it every time you went to a different section. It was so cool.
That is understandable. Yeah. What sort of work will you do for technology?
Well, you've seen what I do at work with the drones and things like that.
Yes.
IT. I used to be in IT, kind of still am, but for 20 plus years, I've always tinkered with them and fixed them.
Oh yeah.
That's where my passion came from.
Nice.
But I do photo editing, video editing on this machine as well
sweet,
as gaming.
yeah.
So it's a multi-use. That's the good thing about computers.
Multi-use.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you can do all kinds of stuff. I watch movies on there and
Oh wow.
TV shows.
Whoa.
And
Wow, that's amazing.
it's not just for gaming.
Oh, so it's like a TV screen too.
Yeah, with the ultra wide, man, it's awesome just sitting back in the dark, headphones on.
Headphones on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
and just watching.
That's the way, mate.
Yeah.
So when you're playing sort of games, what type of things do you use for gaming?
So the inputs and things like that.
Yeah.
So your typical is your mouse and your keyboard. You can use controllers, sticks, depending on the game, steering wheels.
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard is usually the preferred PC peripheral of choice.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So your mouse makes you look. That's where you look, and your keyboard is where you walk and jump and.
That's understandable.
Depending on the game, yeah. Controllers are definitely a lot better for fighting games and
That is true.
racing games.
Yeah, it's say for instance you're playing Tekken 7, that probably involves a controller because it's mostly a hands-on game.
Mm.
Yeah. What kind of things do you use to build in a PC?
To build it, you first need to make sure you buy the correct compatible parts.
Ah, yes.
Because not everything works with everything.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you choose your brand of CPU. Now this is very important. You either go AMD or Intel.
Oh, okay.
They're the only two people that make them. And I've gone AMD this time just because cheaper and outperforming Intel. Because Intel have had the market for so long. It's about time someone kicked their butts. Really, it's not that hard. You can follow YouTube videos these days and all the manual it comes with. Or ask someone who knows how to build them, like me.
What's the first computer you have built?
I actually didn't build it. I was probably about 13 years old, and it cost $6,000. And my dad worked his absolute butt off to get it to us to provide, because he, new things these days.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but my very first PC I built was a vanilla box. None of the RGB existed or anything like that. It was just a plain white-looking box, and it was I think it was a Intel Pentium 2 back in the day, slot loaded as well. The CPU actually sat in a cartridge into the motherboard. Is quite cool. And that was probably about, I'd say 25 years ago, easy. Yeah.
What kind of specs can you get from like my computer, for instance, that can't play certain games? Is there like certain things you need to use to play certain games?
Yeah, a game will always have its minimum and recommended specs at the bottom of the for sale page or on the back of the box. And they're a good guide to find out exactly what type of games you're going to be playing, and then you can build from there.
Yeah.
But usually you want, I don't know, a mid-range CPU, 16 gigs of RAM at least, and a GPU up in the, this is only a 1070, so this is 3 generations old.
Yeah.
So, you can get away with that, 1070. You can pick those up pretty cheap.
Oh, that's true, yeah, that's understandable, yeah. Should we do a demonstration?
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to see? Do you want to see one of my favourite games? I've got it loaded now.
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah. So this game is about, funnily enough, a pandemic that was released on the world called Green Poison.
Green Poison? Wow.
And you're part of an elite squad that was activated by the US government, sleeper cells, to restore order. Yeah, it's a third-person shooter, so it does have violence and things like that. But, we're all adults here.
That's very true.
Yeah. So it's a looter shooter, so you go around and find new weapons, new gear and things like that. And save people and...
Yeah. It's a bit like when you're playing assassin games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your guys also got... what have we got?
Wow.
Little drone, of course, being me. I've got to have a drone.
That's understandable.
There we are.
Craig, the drone master.
That's it. There's my little drone.
Yeah. So when you're playing, how will you run smoothly with the games?
Yeah, so you might not want it, or you might want it, everyone wants it to look really cool, but sometimes you've got to dial that down to get the frames. So you want frames per second, so FPS, funnily enough. So you may need to sacrifice a few things. So in the settings of each game, you always got a graphics option.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I've got them custom set at the moment. You can use some defaults. Yeah. So ultra high, medium, low, and you go down here, you turn shadow quality off, down low. I've got everything down low. My rig's not the most powerful, but I like to have it smooth, so I'll sacrifice the way it looks to get that smoothness, because if it's not smooth, your eyes start to hurt after a while.
It's like when there's a game called Cybernight 2077. Apparently, it's now also a PS5 game. Apparently,
yes.
So when they first started the game, like for the PS4, the problem was they started her early, but the reason why, like, the head honchos wanted to release earlier so the people can play it, but what they didn't realize, it started bugging out, it started glitching and all that. And it still does that still for the PS5, because there's a lot of things. If you go to settings, and you probably have to sacrifice things if you want a quality game. Like Craig said, not always will run smoothly, or it will probably sometimes run smoothly. It just depends how you're playing a game and all that, and see how it runs.
Personal preference, yeah.
Yeah. What's the word of advice you can give for like people who start out with gaming PCs?
Is it for you? You know what I mean?
That is true, yes.
Yeah. What you can get out of a gaming console is pretty impressive these days. You can use your TV that you've already got. When you come to gaming PCs, as you can see, you need a lot of other things to go with them. It's just not a matter of just getting a computer and going. You need a monitor, keyboard, mouse.
If PC is not for you, then it's understandable. But it is for you, then you can ask a lot of people like Craig who can, build your PCs for you and all that kind of stuff. And if you just ask nicely, then pretty much.
But there's a lot of people out there who are willing to offer their skills and their knowledge.
That's true, yeah.
To get more people into this, well, it's very minimal.
That is true, yes it is. Yes.
It's a bit of a community, hey?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of communities out there.
That's what I was looking for, yeah.
Thank you so much for the headphones, and like I said before, like and subscribe, and shoot it like a zombie.
All right. Thanks, Craig. Your PC guru expertise was much appreciated, and it helped you. When we went in and we bought you bought your new gaming PC.
Yes, I did.
And I'm very happy that you are playing some awesome video games. What kind of video games do you like?
Well,
Thinking about your top games that you really like to play.
Well, there's you probably haven't heard this a very old game, Team Fortress.
Team Fortress. I may have played Team Fortress back in the day, back in the LAN parties. Yeah.
All right. So you have tons of you got two teams.
Yep.
The blue team, the red team.
Yep.
So there's tons of things you can do, but sometimes, very in the old games, there is glitches and problems.
Yep.
But I think, probably in the near future it'll be more better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Cyberpunk. No glitches at all.
Oh.
Just kidding. No, that game you love as well. Did have a few glitches, but hey, that's technology.
That is true, yes. I remember the first time
Yep.
it came out for the PS4.
Yep.
And it has some issues and it wasn't playable.
Yep.
But then
Yep.
they have the PS5 and I think hopefully the older brother of the console will run through.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm with you on that one. I personally don't have a PS5, so if anyone's got one, you can put it, a comment below. I'm sure we can work out a deal. But no, seriously, PS4, PS3, PS2, PS1, we played them all. Both you and I, we love playing video games. I am definitely an old fan of some of the, Super Nintendo, the nostalgic kind of gaming, but I also like some of the newer video games. But I'm with you. You like a little bit of LAN party?
Yes, yes.
You go to a LAN party as well, don't
yes.
you?
Yes,
Should we do a big shout out to your boys?
How you doing, fellas? Huge shout out to all of yous.
That's right.
Hope you had a nice night.
Yeah, definitely. Doing some awesome things out there
Yeah.
in the hacker space, doing a LAN party.
Yeah.
We wanted to find out, how do you make a video game and who makes video games?
His name is Luca
His name is Luca.
from Myriad Game Studios.
Myriad Game Studio here in Hobart in Tasmania.
Yes.
And they made a game called Where the Snow Settles. And again, like James, we just Googled Hobart video games developers and up came Myriad. And they were very, very great to be able to give us a chance to meet and have a conversation to learn what it is to make a video game. So, what do you reckon we should do?
Well, show the clip.
Let's do it.
How you doing? I'm Adam from Danny King. I'm here with Joel Pro. I'm here with Luca with Miro Gamings.
Yeah.
And then today we're going to ask questions. How do you make video games?
Video games.
That is a very big question. Having made one or two video games, I'd like to say that I know something.
Something is better than nothing.
Definitely not everything. Making video games is is super broad, right? It sort of gathers up a whole bunch of different skill sets and knowledge bases, and all of them are important. You know, obviously, programming is looked towards as like the key one. Like, you know, you jump on your computer and you write all this code, and the game just works. But it's one element of so many other elements. You know, the art, making, you know, for Sonic, you know, drawing Sonic and all the different animations that Sonic does, you know, when he's standing up and when he's running and when he's in a ball, and like how you transition between each of those, which then starts to bring in animation, and animation, which, you know, you think of cinema and movies and cartoon movies, right?
Yeah.
So we've already sort of broadened the skills that you need to make video games into the same skills that you use to make a movie, right? Yeah. And then when you think about, okay, well, what story is your video game telling you, right? Like, what's the start? You know, who are the good people? Who are the bad people?
Oh, that is really true. Yeah.
You gotta have the villains.
Gotta have the villains.
It's like when they did Sonic 2.
Yeah,
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman, yeah.
It was strange. It was strange. Like, the second it was like Dr. Robotnik, and then the second it was Eggman. There's also sometimes when you're making games, there's also glitches in games. Well, as a gamer myself, playing Cybernight 2077 was the biggest thing. But the problem, what they didn't realise, they released the game too soon, and then you had to wait, and then you had to play the PS4 game on the PS5, and then the PS5 one comes out. Cybernight 2077, and then fair enough. Tell us a bit more about Myriad Game Studios.
So we started Myriad about 6 years ago. So long before COVID. We were a bunch of friends, and we all loved playing video games, and we thought, you know, let's see what's involved. And there was a friend of ours who was part of a local community here in Hobart that got together twice every year to make video games. He said, we should all go along. So we went along, and we spent 2 days, and we made, you know, a really small, silly game. It was so much fun. It was so much fun, and, you know, we did everything. We were doing programming, we were making art, we were making music, all together, just sort of, you know, sitting over each other's laptops, making this game. And we thought that was really, really cool. We want to do this again, but, you know, much, much longer. So we had a look at our timeline for making the game, from start to finish, and we said, okay, so we're going to make this game. We're going to start, you know, with ideas, and ideas are going to take us this long, and then we're going to start, you know, making a small part of the game. That's going to take this long, and then we're going to make the whole game. That's going to take this long, and then we're going to fix all those bugs and glitches, and that's going to take this long. It took longer. And that was 6 years ago, and we started working on our game. That was it.
When you releasing the game, what type of timelines you need to worry about when you start making games?
It's a really good question. You'd always sort of look at, you know, how long can you actually spend making this game, that might be dependent on how much money you have to pay people to work on your game. If you only have a small amount of money to pay to make the game, you can't spend too much time on it. So you've got to think about, well, where's that time going to be best spent? Well, step one is to make sure you're not releasing a game with lots of glitches.
Yeah. What inspires you making games?
That's a good question.
Good question, Adam. Yeah. What's the inspiration?
What's the inspiration?
We drew a lot of inspiration from other games. Like, obviously, you know, we started from a passion of really liking games, and there were a lot of smaller games that we had played that we thought, you know, that was a really cool idea, or that was really cool art, well, that was really cool music, and so we printed off, you know, covers of those video games, like, you know, the box that you buy from EB. We'd print them off, we pin them up in our office, and we had a look at different movies that we thought were really cool, and different books that we thought were really cool, and we spent a long period of time just absorbing heaps of different inspiration for our game. You know, we really loved Journey. I'm not sure if you've played Journey on, I think it came out on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And you just like wander through the
Sounds
desert.
like an open world kind of game. Is that maybe you?
It is. It's not open world. It's fairly linear puzzle game,
Oh, cool.
but it feels very open.
Okay.
So you're like out in the middle of the desert, and you can't see the horizon, and it was a beautiful game, and we felt very inspired by that, and other Australian game developers and games that they were making as well.
Nice.
So the game that we made and released is called Where the Snow Settles, and you know, it draws a lot of inspiration from those really small, contained puzzle games. You know, we had a real emphasis on, you know, narrative and story and adventure, and we felt really inspired by, you know, beautiful imagery, and so we wanted to make our game feel beautiful. Where
that's true. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah.
You know, you look at all these games with, like, you know, really fancy graphics. And like, we can't do that. We're not good enough to do that. So we wound it back. We made it, you know, really simple shapes. You know, everything was square or rectangular. But we wanted people to get the most enjoyment from our game just by sitting in it, not doing anything in particular, but listening to the music and looking at the environment.
That's true, yeah. What's the aim of the game?
The aim of the game is fairly broad. You're sort of taken through this story of this girl looking for her older sister, and in the process, you know, learns a little bit more about herself and you know, growing up as an individual, and not, you know, having to be the same person that her sister was. You know, often, you know, you look at someone, you think, oh, they're really cool, and I want to be exactly like them, and sometimes the best way to be like someone is to just sort of be your own self in the best way that you can be.
That's true.
We really wanted to focus in on that idea, and tell it from the perspective of you know, a young woman growing up.
Isn't that amazing though? Like video games, you know, particularly now these days, are like stories or movies where you can walk away and go, one, that was really a great experience playing the game, the storyline, but then having maybe something you can learn from it, like a message or, you know, something to consider. Meanwhile, Sonic, you just like, come on, get to the end of the level.
Sonic has a super solid story behind it.
Sure.
Yeah, you got this hedgehog, and he runs really, really
You
fast.
don't judge anyone based on their opinions
Exactly.
or their colour.
Unless you're a Wallace Eggman.
Oh, correct.
So, Sonic does have witness. He can't swim.
That's right. You fall in the water, and all your rings go everywhere.
No, shattered. Now, we read in your bio about a particular favourite game that you like. Which one was that one, Adam?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. To draw some inspiration from Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh, absolutely. How can you not? I feel like Banjo-Kazooie inspires all video games.
That is true.
Way before Spyro even had like Spyro Racing. Do they have a Spyro Racing? But you know, you know.
Yeah.
Come on. We've got to take the good and the bad. We love them. And dare I say, combined here, we're all going to be gaming till the end, right?
Definitely, yes.
Right there.
Boom,
That's a wrap. All right, thanks, Luca. That was pretty cool, hey?
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So you can check out that game on Steam. You know, we haven't quite yet played it, but we've checked out some great videos, and we're definitely going to give it a razz. So get to check it out for yourself. And coming up next, we did a bit of an interview with one of your favourite bands from here in Tasmania.
Yes, we did.
Who are they called?
Mountains of Madness.
Mountains of Madness. That's it. Adrian, Baz, and Brett, total legends. Very, very cool. Very heavy metal.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Now, they've helped you out a bit, haven't they?
Yep.
We did a bit of a launch for Demon King Photography. And for those who don't know, Demon King Photography, well, that's Adam. And we've been working together and basically getting you set up to, work on your photography skills. What other things do you do with your photography?
Well, I also use an editing program on my phone.
Yep.
If you don't know what's out there, then, well,
You should check it.
you should check it out.
Snapseed. Ace editing program.
Oh, definitely,
We'll
yes.
leave a link down there,
Oh.
like maybe in the chat, maybe in the social media. What do you reckon?
Definitely. It's a free-to-use program.
Yep.
I used it, and it's a remarkable thing. And if you're looking for a teacher, always you can look up my Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, doing a bit of mentoring has definitely been an awesome thing you've been working on with your photography. So Demon King Photography, that's you. You're doing lots of cool things now, doing lots of interviews. So it's pretty diverse. And we did an exhibition launch, and that was a little while ago. But we needed a bit of music.
Yeah.
Not quite violins. We needed
No, violins.
heavy metal.
Yeah, man.
Mountains of Madness, they were absolute legends coming on board. And since then, well, yeah, we've been checking out some of their gigs and taking some photos. And we actually got the chance to have a chat with them to talk about music, technology. How did you find that?
Well, we drive through to Old Beach.
Yeah, we went through a bit of a mission, didn't we?
Yes, we
To
did.
the jam spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what sort of things do you talk about?
Well, we mostly talk about how long they've been playing, how long they've been in the band for.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've been playing music together for a while, writing some songs.
Oh, yes, I have,
Yeah. And what's one of your favourite songs there from Mountains of Madness?
Ooh, sheesh, that's a good one. Release the Beast.
Unleash the Beast. Oh, well, we better play the clip, hey, so these guys can check out more about Mountains of Madness.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mountains of Madness. So far I'm here with Mountains of Madness. How you doing, fellas?
Hey! Good.
So, when did you start your band?
I'd say about 8 or 9 years ago. I'm not sure, really. I'm not really good with that type of thing. Yeah, I'd say about.
If you said 10 years, we'd believe it.
Yeah, I don't think it's been 10, but
It's quite 10.
no, approximately. When you get this age, just the years go past. You don't know.
Yeah, 10 years would be. I wasn't in that band in the band back then, but it was about 10 years. I'm sure.
How long have you been in the band for then?
What comes after that many? I don't know. 4, 5?
4, 5.
Oh, hang on, 2017. 5 years, I think. 5 years for me. I'm on my P plates.
I'm working on my mic technique at the moment. We're fresh out of Glenorchy though, and it must have been, I'm saying 9 years.
So how did it all started with Mountains of Madness?
Well, myself and our former drummer, who has actually sadly passed away, so R.I.P. Mick, if you're everyone out there. So we were just jamming and together, and then we met Adrian, and Adrian over here, and
We were at a gig. What gig were we at?
yeah, a friend of ours, Marty. Hey, Marty. He introduced us and said he was looking for a drummer and a guitarist, and he had some songs written, and we had some songs written, so we just basically joined forces.
And it was hilarious because the music we wrote, like Baz and Mick's stuff was one way and mine was completely different. And I played them my stuff and they liked some of it but not all of it. They were like, yeah, maybe not. Anyhow, so I changed my writing style pretty quickly because it was like, oh, these guys can play. That's pretty handy. So then we just started. So our first recording was pretty much like half my stuff, half Baz and Mick's stuff, sort of some of it sort of together. But from then on, it's sort of been all put together by all of us, I think would be a fair way to describe it.
How do you put a song together?
Well, there's various ways, but they all end up coming together. Sometimes maybe I'll have or any of us could have a bit of an idea and nut it out a bit on the guitar at home, and then we generally get together and share the idea, and we all work on it from there. So we're all pretty easy going with that type of thing. We generally, have the same mind and just make it happen. Really, we just see what ideas pop up from, what we bring forward, and take it from there.
Rode microphone, like it. Being a drummer, of course, if you look around the room, you'll see a couple of twang sticks which are not actually belong to Barry or Adrian. So I rarely get on one and pretend I know what I'm half doing. And it generally all turns to custard pretty quick, but occasionally I come out with half a riff that you then might develop into quarter of a riff of another part of an eighth of a song, which becomes a 16th of 2 parts of 5/8 of stuff all of a song. So I might have put half a note into that song as a twang stick player.
So if you listen to some of our music, if you want to delve into, where are we, Spotify and Bandcamp and stuff, there's some songs on our new album that we've just put out which are an interesting collaboration of how we did it. There's that song that Bert wrote the riffs for that we played around with, and we didn't even know if we wanted to record it because I wrote some, you wrote some. I knew what the vocals could be in my head, but then we didn't really, like the other guys didn't know it. We weren't really sure, but it actually came out pretty cool on the album. But when people hear it, they don't hear what we've been through on the rehearsal room floor going, no, that sounds like we've just bolted that together, and no, that's not quite right. There's a song, and that song is called My Old Friend.
Yes.
So look that up and tell us if you think that sounds like 3 songs bolted together. I went to the toilet halfway through rehearsal due to my small bladder and maybe beer consumption.
Did you do a download?
Maybe. And Baz was just playing a riff, and I just came out of the bathroom and I just thought, that is just like the most crushing riff I've ever heard in my life.
Pants were up, by the way.
Pants were up. And
Finished in there.
yeah, I'd finished. And I just went, that's got to go with that heart attack thing. We've got to try and make a place to fit it in. The verse riff I'd had for like 10 years or something, and gone, at some point I'll do something with that. And it came together, and it's my favourite track on the album, to be honest. So, and that was like, that took ages.
I remember when, because obviously I wasn't the original inception of that riff, but when Baz played it, it was like, you mean you sat on this for this long? This is kind of cool. But the excitement that came out of him, not in the toilet afterwards, when he came out of the toilet, was enough for us to go, oh, okay, this is a thing. We can do something with this.
And when we were recording it in the studio with Joe Haley from Psychroptic, who's like awesome, when we recorded it, we got to that the chorus bit, which is the original thing we worked on, and he was like, oh man, that is like super heavy. So it took some time, but we found our way with that one. That took ages. Other songs like Unleash the Beast, Baz wrote most of that, and that happened in like no time at all. That was like one rehearsal and yep, it's all done sort of thing. There's a very long answer.
Yes, it is. So, when was the first time you had that song called Unleash the Beast?
I decided I wanted to do something a little more up-tempo for a bit of a chat. A lot of our stuff was quite slow, so I did, decide I'm going to try and do something a little more up-tempo, and had most of the guitar riffs ready to go. It was just one of those songs, like we said before, it took to band practice, and we have a bit of a bash at it, and I basically said, I imagine it goes this way or that way, but really not too fast. And then Adrian goes home, and he generally comes up with the lyrics and choruses and how the singing goes to the music. He generally takes that home and comes up with, and yeah, it was completely different to how I imagined it. I had it in my head a little way, which I didn't really like that much anyway. But yeah, what he did was, yeah, it went its own way, and that was that. It was just come together quite quickly, and yeah, it was just most of the music was basically put forward already, and then yeah, the singing, and the lyrics all just sort of just fit into place, and yeah, come together really quickly.
Do you want to do it
No,
together?
you go.
You want to do it together?
No.
Like endless love. I remember when Baz had the riff, and as soon as we played what become the chorus, a half time that, and there's the people talk about, you got the hairs in the back of your neck stand up sort of thing. It was like, I can lay into this. This has got a bit of something happening. And then you look around and there's a lot of facial expressions going in this band, and a lot that are probably unnecessary, but it's funny. But at that point, you turn around and all three of us are going, riff, yeah, riff. And it just got better.
It did. And vocally wise, I just normally go away, and with that one, I think I was riding my bike because I ride my push bike all the time, and I'd think about that sort of stuff most of the time when I'm on my bike. And I kept coming up with the Unleash the Beast chorus thing together and kept trying to talk myself out of it. Unleash the Beast was a segment on a very short-lived show on television called Jono and Dano, and they had a segment called Unleash the Beast, and he had like a plastic Viking thing on his head. And it just, for me, with my lyrics and everything, it's more about how it, I don't want to sound like Gene Simmons, but this is what he does. It's just what he thinks sounds right, which is why most of his lyrics are terrible and why most of mine are terrible as well. But there's like Unleash the Beast, it's not about really very much at all. We just make it up, and it's all very stupid, but it's pretty funny.
Okay, well, I can run you through the amp aspect of it. So it's actually pretty old school sort of technology, really. It's an old, that's a valve amp, like bands would have used in the 60s and 70s. But so that's same type of thing there. But we're probably running through some of this stuff too. Like this is a fuzz pedal here and a wah pedal. That's no difference to a Jimi Hendrix or something like that would have used an overdrive pedal here and a phase. So they all have that's a tuner, So that's pretty handy when you're on stage. You can sort of
that's true, yeah.
It blocks out the rest of the blocks out your input, and you can just see the tuning and.
Oh yeah, because you go a lot of different wires to put in there.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a power supply powering everything on there, and it's the wah pedal, a fuzz pedal, an overdrive pedal, and a phase pedal, and they pretty much. That's pretty cool, man. It's all pretty basic things, but it's when you combine them in the right sort of combinations, and it gets a pretty unique sound, but also a pretty traditional sort of. So it's very basic sort of stuff for this type of music, I guess.
So when you hook up your electric guitar, what type of chords do you use?
So this is my, okay, if I'll grab this. This is my bass guitar. That's a Ernie Ball Stingray. And so I've got a pretty basic setup for me. Yeah. Sort of like Baz, but even more basic than that. So I've just got my bass guitar and the lead coming out of here. And then this is just going straight into my amp. And this is a tube thing, like people would have used this in the 70s as well. This is a old school Matt amp. This is made in the United Kingdom. United Kingdom? Yeah, man, from a long way away. Long way away. And the best thing about it is it actually just sounds like the end of the world when you turn it up, because we've got there's lots of dials on here to change the sound around. The main thing with this one is it's got a drive thing, and if you just want to hold the microphone, I'll show you how the drive thing works.
Sure.
So this is like with not much drive.
Yeah.
Pretty loud.
Nice.
So that's not much drive. It sounds pretty clean.
Yeah.
But then you can do this.
All right.
And this sounds like Fuzzmageddon. Yes.
Excellent. I can feel the ground shaking.
Can Adam have a res?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby. Get it out.
I don't know what to do, man.
Oh yeah. Feel that and feel it like, and then we turn it up.
Yeah.
How loud is that?
So, what type of drums you use?
Normally, I'd use acoustic drums,
Oh yeah.
and I always swore that I would never own an electric kit.
Oh yeah.
But here I am with an electric kit. Reason being, when it comes to rehearsals,
Yeah.
turn it down.
Oh yeah.
If we're writing stuff,
Yeah.
it's good that we can actually talk over the top and say, yeah, back to that riff or whatever.
yeah.
So as much as technology is there with
Yeah.
that and sounds, which we'll go through on a tick,
Yeah.
you still have to use one common denominator.
Drum-
Sticks.
Drumsticks, definitely. That is true. That is true. Every single drummer had to use drumsticks.
Then you've got stadium drums.
Yep.
Then it's what I like to call rap.
Oh yeah. With Adam in the house.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Yo. I'm Demi.
is here. He's an in bear. We're drinking beer.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I'm back. Here we go now. It's still a slam here, and then now. Don't forget if you more time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good.
Beast! Release the beast! Release the beast! Release the beast! Release the beast! The beast! Release the beast!
Rally around.
Beast! Beast! Yeah! Time to miss the beast! Unleash the beast!
How's that feel, Adam?
Yeah. They're done. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Peace. Bye.
Now that's a sign up. Yeah, baby. Mountains of Madness. Man, I tell you what,
Wow.
those screams at the end there.
Yeah.
Hectic, bro. Hectic.
I was lucky thing I didn't lose my voice.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Huge shout out to Mountains of Madness.
Definitely.
For when I interviewed them.
Yep.
You know what? I had a good time.
Yeah, and they're absolutely amazing supporters,
yeah.
not just of the music scene there in Tasmania, but helping out Adam too. So, well done, boys. All right, so that's pretty much a bit of a wrap up there. This is it's been a lot of fun, Adam.
Yes.
You know, we like YouTube, and we've watched lots of different live streams and videos, and here we are doing one ourselves. How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. It's been a lot of fun. And it's been a really good experience to be able to show you, the viewers, on some of the creative adventures that we get up to in the community. And there's plenty more to come. What's in store, Adam, for what we're going to be doing with Cybernight? What do you want to happen?
Well, hopefully there will be more things for Cybernight.
Yep.
For the near future as well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we've spoken a bit about some of your goals. Some of those, with some of your goals is about being a disability advocate.
Yes, I am.
And by getting guests to come here for Cybernight, doing a bit of
definitely.
some interviews and sharing their stories.
Yeah.
Is that probably a good thing to do?
Yes.
Nice one.
Yeah.
And what about, I suppose, just continuing on with your photography?
Yeah.
And, how can people see more of your photography works, mate?
Well, you can go through my Instagram.
Instagram?
There's also, if you want to learn a bit more about Demon King or Cybernight, go to the link below to my business account.
Yep.
And you will see the tons of things I did for Demon King, including Cybernight.
That's right. And all the other things that you've done in the past.
Oh, definitely.
And many more things to come in the future.
Many more things to come.
That's it. We'll make sure we leave all the links for you to check out. But personally, Adam, I want to say I'm so proud of you. We've, had an absolute ball doing this, and a big special thanks to Craig, of course, who we interviewed and is behind the scenes making all this amazing lights and photography, film setup work, and hopefully, it's going to look absolutely mint. I'm sure it will. Well done, mate. And of course, we're here at Lutana Hall, and you might not see it, but I'm actually, I'm amazed that we're finally here. This is an old hall in Lutana. It was set up nearly 100 years ago.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And some exciting things to come up in the future. But
True.
big special thanks to Michael, who's the hall keeper here, to let
Thank
us
you,
do some filming. And the pizza, Woodfire Pizza's absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
But enough ramble. We've had a good time.
Yes, we did.
Adam, super proud of you. And we've got one special last little video to send off our first ever live stream. What's the video about?
Well, same thing we usually do.
Yep.
We call it mashup.
A mashup. Getting some music, getting some clips, putting them together, mashing them up. And what's the theme?
Well, the theme is
We've got technology.
all about technology, and also it's about the new age of technology.
Yeah.
growing. And now
What do you reckon?
we show a clip.
Show a
of,
clip?
of Matrix.
Let's do it. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you have a good weekend, and we'll catch you all soon. Peace out.
See ya.
Let's do something a little more fun. How about